You want to hear what we did at our Bible study get together last night at our church? I think you will find this very interesting. Maybe you can incorporate some of this in your own, not just a Bible study, but just getting together or even one-on-one. I thought this was really great. This first part, I videoed a little bit of the opening at our Bible study when Jill, our pastor's wife, was telling us what was going to happen that night. And later on, I didn't video because we were each paired up with another person and we got to know them better. That was fun. I'm going to put this on, and then later I'm going to come back and talk to you about the paper she gave us.
Happened at my other Wheatland Bible study, and I was remembering we talked about the Lord, and He's the promiser, so we talked for a little bit about Him, and that was fun to remember about. We can trust Him when He's the one making the promises. We know that they're going to come to pass. The things that He promises us, and I was remembering with provision and His peace and the purpose that He gives us, promise of trouble. And that wasn't a fun one, except for when you know that it's going to happen. It was nice to know what happens when you have trouble, that He's faithful there. And I have a few series coming up in mind, and I think I told Amy, I was like, I have like ideas for like 4.5. Did I tell you that? 4.5 series. She goes, what is a half a series? And it's a short, maybe it's 5, something like that. So I am looking forward to that. And Mrs. Peach, I did watch your video of me. I thought, let me see if I can figure out something I can learn from this. The thing I learned was I don't need to chew gum long. I am going to mix it up a little bit tonight, and I told Haley, I was like, if I tell you what we're doing, you have to come still, because I don't know if you're going to like it, but she actually told me, she's like, that's when I got to know Lori. And I was like, okay, so it was a good thing. I think is just as important as us getting together and studying the Word of God is us getting together and getting to know each other. And some of you guys are newer here than others. And I think sometimes if you're the newer one, you think everybody else is so close except for me. Like you guys are all doing, you read each other's thoughts, you finish each other's sentences, Just me, I'm the only one. And that's not really how it is. I remember John telling me what it was like to come to for the first time. And he's like, I thought everybody here just knew everybody. And I found out that guy got here a month before me. And so it's funny to hear a new person's perspective because I've never been a new person. So, and some of you guys aren't new, but it's nice to get more connected. And if you know me very well at all, I have a few specific characteristics. I like to get to know them. I like to ask them anything I can. I try to be sensitive enough to not be weird. I may or may not be good at that. I don't know. Just ask people questions. And it's funny because the other day I was at work over here, and Sarah, that teaches 3rd grade at New England. So if you don't know, she's the one with the accent. And so we were out there talking with a few of the ladies. We were on break, so I went out and visited them. And she started asking me all the questions. And I was like, I'm not used to this. I was trying to think of, okay, what are my answers? And the other girl out there thought it was really funny because she's like, oh, look who's in the hot seat now. I actually paired you up. So Sandra and Karen, I put you two together. Do you guys know each other? Tonight's your night. And Mrs. Peach, I put you with my sister Amy.
Okay.
All right. And Haley and Rachel, I did not put you together. Jenny and Angie.
I was paired up with a beautiful young lady that I have known, well, let's see, she said she was 40, I think. And, I'm pushing 80, so I'm almost twice her age. We had a great conversation, and I thought I would just talk about some of the things on this list. We'll make a still of this copy and let you might want to take some of this idea. I don't know whether Jill came up with this herself or she found it from somewhere, but I thought it was so great. This is to get to know somebody. The girl I was paired up with was Amy. She's just awesome. Single mom of 4. One of the first things we talked about is we each talked about 5 things that you have in common. Not female, because we're all ladies there. Okay. we talked about we had in common, but I knew one right away, as we were both raised in church our whole life. Now, not everybody can say that, some have not been, but went to church my whole life, and Sunday morning, Sunday night, Wednesday night, Saturday night at that time, and anytime they had a revival or anything else going on at the church, that's when I went. And that's the way she was. She did one step further. She went to school there, because we have a school, preschool through high school. And then we talked about differences. What is some of the differences? And we came up with one. I stay up late. She goes to bed early. Oh, another one was, I said, do you like steak? And she said, yes, I like steak. And I said, well, I'm a vegetarian. So that was a difference. She eats meat and I don't. She was curious to know how I became a vegetarian. And I briefly told her that when I was pregnant with my son, I was 43. My husband was 48. He had a heart attack. I'd already seen my mom go through a bypass, and I'd known several that had had heart trouble. I started listening to Dr. John McDougall on the radio. I used to tape it on cassette tapes for my husband to listen to when he got home, and he said, we could do that. Well, we did it for a while, and then decided, he went on to have hamburgers when he'd go uptown. I still cook pretty vegetarian here at home for the rest of his life, and I continued to be what I am now, a vegetarian. So that was another difference. She talked about, why do you value the church? Well, there's a lot of reasons. To me, you go there to meet with God and worship the Lord and meet your friends, and hopefully you got some friends there. And I told her about when I first got home here after my husband brought me home. My kids were 15 and 17, and I knew I needed to get my teenagers in a church that really had something going on for the youth. I went to that church and I've never left. That's over 40 years ago. That was 1982. So it's been a real blessing to me. It's been my friendship. My friends develop in the church, different ones, and it's just a good place to be. Read Psalms 1:1-3, and discuss it. We did that. And then, would you rather go out to dinner or take out? We both about decided we'd rather go out to dinner, depending on the time and day. And, when you're, especially for my friend, when she gets a chance to go out to eat, her having the 4 children, she loves to get a chance to not do the dishes. And I like that too. And I always love to go to a new place. What else do we talk about? Would you consider yourself a people person? Well, it has several. A people person, you can think about this for yourself. A talker, a reader, a thrifter, detail-oriented, techie or punctual. I think I'm a people person. I love to be around people and get to know people. Talker, a lot of times. I think when I was growing up, I was a little shy. So that kind of made a difference. And not in every situation. Okay, a reader. I keep a book that I'm reading all the time, almost always. I'm a slow reader, but I do like to read. And you have seen me on my booktube talking about books I've read. Let's see, a thrifter. Oh yeah, I'd say I'm top on the list. And she loves to go thrifting too. And her mom I run into her mom every so often at a thrift store. It's fun. Detail oriented, mostly, I think I would be. She is too. Techie. Well, I am more so than other people and a lot less than others. I'm kind of, for my age, being 80, I can do a lot more than a lot of people, but I only know what I know. There's not everything I know. Punctual, well, I could get better at that. I've been telling myself I'm going to get better at that. Okay. Okay, here's the other. Rate the following items 1 to 10. Coffee, naps, I'm looking at my paper. Camping, shopping, golf, talking on the phone. I'd have to say coffee, number 1. Golf, way down to the end because I've never really played golf. I went to miniature golf, that's fun. And camping, it's okay. It's not my most favorite thing, but once in a while to get out in nature, that was good. And you know, my husband was a campground host. We did have, and we always had a little trailer, or we had a tent trailer at one time. We had a motorhome at one time. So different ones in our life. By the way, all of this, if I've sparked your interest in anything else, I have a glimpse of my life. It's my whole life story. It's in the playlist, and I think I have about 37 in that series, and I tell a little bit about my life all the way through, from my first marriage to my divorce to my marrying my husband of almost 40 years up to his death. God's been good to me, I'll tell you that, the truth. From whom is present tonight, who do you think would cry at a movie? Well, I didn't look around the room to see. Amy said she would probably cry at a movie, and I said, not so much me, but when my husband and I would be sitting watching a movie, I would look over at him and say, Richard, are you crying? He'd say, yes. Okay, and then another one, they said, who that's here tonight, who do you think would win at cornhole, a cornhole tournament? I only played cornhole a time or two, and of course, I didn't know who. I know a lot of them are more sporty than I. I never was as sporty as a lot of them. I talked to my friend Laura, and she was real good in sports. I never was. If I played tetherball, I'd be dodging the ball and all those. I could have been better at that. What do you want to get involved at with our church here? I think I'm as involved as I planned to be. At one point, I did open the services at that time with my old gospel songs, and that was a good time. I enjoyed that, but you know, time moves on and things change, and don't do that any longer. We, have the more up-to-date songs. Once in a while they throw in an older song, but it's good. Whatever we're doing, have our GYEs, Global Youth Evangelism Bible studies, that whenever somebody does one, they give it to me. I have the answer key. Thank you so much for watching today. I hope you enjoyed that. And if you would like, take a copy of that. You might have some thoughts to broaden your conversation with somebody or a group, ladies, whatever. And let's see, one other thing I want to say. Tomorrow I have a video I'm excited about putting on. It is me not being surprised when I open my power PG&E bill. It can get scary, especially here in California. I guess everywhere. You guys have a lot of cold weather back there. Ours is cold enough to suit me. And I go over how I know what to expect. And well, I'm going to be showing you in depth a little bit more. And Sunday afternoon, unless there's something come up that I don't know, I'll be here for the live. I will sit down at the piano, play some gospel, sing, pray with you if you need a prayer, and just enjoy seeing you guys there and enjoy singing, and you'll hear me make a mistake or two. It's not perfect. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm good at that. God bless you. I'm going to go meet my friends for lunch. We're going to the Dancing Tomato. Been years since I've been there. God bless you. See you tomorrow.